From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
On today's episode, Marc Liegghio, a.k.a. Legs, talks about helping a member of the Ticats office celebrate their gender reveal. Coach O talks about how to shut down the Argos run game. Terry Godwin discusses the strength of the Ticats receiving corps, and Kenneth George Jr. speaks to me about proving his doubters wrong. It's Wednesday, September 20th, 2023, and you're listening to Ticats Today. The Cats continued practice today at Tim Hortons Field for day 2 as they get prepared for this final matchup of the season between the Ticats and the Argos, the battle of the QEW, the rivalry we all love to watch. The Argos currently are leading the season series 3-0 and are looking to sweep the season series for the first time since 2007. It's been a long time since we've seen an Argos season sweep, and we know the Ticats will do anything in their power to make sure the sweep doesn't happen. The one issue for the Ticats in the last game these two teams met was defending against AJ Ouellette and limiting those big games he had on the ground. Coach O spoke about defending him today and more.
Got to get him on the ground. It's very rare that you see one person get him down. I don't know what it is. We're tired of trying to figure it out. He has great contact balance. He plays with passion. And, he doesn't really matter what team or whatever you turn the tape on. He's just, like I said, he has great contact balance, plays hard, runs behind his pads, and faster than you think. So, good for him. But, again, that's just studying your opponent. We'll wrap him up. We'll get him down.
Having seen these guys 3 times now, does it give you a little more confidence heading into this game that you've seen everything, or is that something that you just got to take game by game?
Everything's an individual game. Everything presents its own challenges. There's more tape available to everybody in all 3 phases of football. And so, we're just going to, again, we always study our opponents, respect them, prepare, but we're more hard on ourselves and concerned with how we can get better and what we can do internally, ultimately, to reflect in the win column.
Kenneth George Jr., he had that big interception against Winnipeg, and he's had a great season so far. What can you say about his growth and seeing him throughout the year?
Yeah, well, when you're young, you're always going to get tried out there, and he's going to see your fair share of footballs, and you got to make your plays. And until you make your plays, film travels, and you're going to see footballs. And, he works hard. He's very thick-skinned. He takes hard coaching. He's very hard on himself. He doesn't miss practice. There's a lot of great things, and he's starting to be more consistent in his play. So anytime you see somebody who's hardworking and, puts the team first, you like to see those players get rewarded. For DBs especially, they really love the interceptions.
There was a little bit of fun after practice yesterday. What was going on? There was a gender reveal following the practice?
Yeah, so, our director or manager of, football, communications, operations, she does everything. That's why I couldn't really put a title on it. But at the end of the day, so she just wanted to include everybody that she sees every single day for about 12 hours when you're talking about the staff and then the players every day. And, it's something she wanted to do, and everybody has that freedom and that platform, and it was fun to see everybody rally around it. So we're extremely happy for Tamara and Josh and their 3rd edition.
That was Coach O. Coach mentioned what happened after yesterday's practice, and pretty cool story here. Ticats Director of Football Operations, Tamara Jones, is currently pregnant and wanted to share the gender reveal of her baby with the rest of her team. And who else but Marc Liegghio was there to kick a football to reveal the gender of her soon-to-be baby boy. And Marc Liegghio sat down with me to talk about helping out with the gender reveal and more.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny because after practice, I looked at my phone and I saw that I had a text from, Tamara. I said, uh-oh. Because usually when she texts me, it's me, I didn't do something or something happened. So I went up to her office. I'm like, hey, Tamara, did something happen? She goes, no, actually, I want to ask you something. I want to do a gender reveal, but I want you to kick the ball for me. And I said, oh, no way. That was, a surprise. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'll do that, no problem. And then when we got out there on the field, she kind of showed me the little ball, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, because we didn't know what was inside.
Yeah.
And then she wanted Corey to hold it for me, and then when I kicked it, like, even the picture they got, like, where the smoke exploded, it was, like, perfect.
Looked perfect, yeah.
So, like, that experience was pretty cool, and I'm glad that I got to do that for her.
Yeah, it was a pretty sweet event. The whole team was celebrating. It's not too often you get to help reveal a gender. Is that the first time you've ever done something like that?
Actually, yeah, it is. I haven't been a part of one yet, but, I know with a lot of people, we're getting to that age, so maybe they'll start popping up a bit more. But, that was the first one I did, and it was actually pretty exciting to get to do it in front of the team, and I'm sure it meant a lot for the guys to be there.
This season's been going very well over the second half of the season, 3-4 in the last 4 games. What have you noticed that's switched, and on special teams specifically?
I think we're just coming together more as a team. Like every week you go through different reps and scenarios, and then you learn from each other, and just being the time together, just you grow as a unit, right? So we're in the film room, we're prepping the way we have to, and obviously preparation shows what we prepare on the field. And I think just we're coming together as a team each week, and we're just going to get better every week.
Last game, a lot of guys will say, it's just another game. But is it always a little something more when you beat your former team?
Yeah, I know. Everyone was kind of coming up to me and bringing that up. But, at the end of the day, I was just thinking of it as another game, I got a lot of respect for the Bombers, the coaches and players there. It was nice seeing some familiar faces, catching up with some of the guys. But I'm just glad that we got the win that day, and it's just, moving on to Toronto next week.
One thing that everyone knows about Tim Hortons Field is the wind can get pretty treacherous. It's pretty crazy. I was wondering if you have any tips or things you go through in your head before you start a game just based off the wind here alone.
Yeah, it's the wind in the stadium. It's changing all game, right? So we could kind of have the wind and warm up, go into the wind and warm up, and then it just come out for game time, and it's completely different. Mm-hmm. So it's just like that communication between me and Jeff, and then Coach O, just kind of making sure we know what's going on for the game, right? So just in case they don't throw you out there for like a 50-yarder into the wind when you just had the wind. So it's just kind of preparing throughout the game and staying ready. But, whatever the scenario of the game brings, you talk it right before you go on the field, and then you go execute whatever play they call.
Is it almost something you have to try and, understand the wind here? You kind of have to get a feel for it because you're around it every day, you're practicing with it. But is it a constant everyday struggle with the wind almost?
Yeah, it's almost like I come out every day and I want to kick into the wind. So, I'm kicking towards the scoreboard one day, kicking into the concourse the next day. So it's just like working both ends, getting the feel for what it could be like on either end of the field. But like with this stadium, it's kind of you just come to game day and be like, hey, this is what we got for the day.
Big game coming up against the Argonauts. How big is it to avoid the season sweep and get a victory here, and especially in that playoff run?
Yeah, it's always good to pick up a win against Toronto, but I think the way that we've been coming together the past couple of weeks, we got a little fire behind us, and I think it's going to be a good week for us, and we'll hopefully come on top on this game.
Tyreek McAllister on the kick return team. What have you seen from him this year? It seems like every single game he's able to get either run a kick back for a touchdown, or it gets called back on a penalty, or it seems like every game he's getting big yards on the kick return.
Yeah, he's been explosive for us this year. Like every game he has like at least 2 to 3 big plays for us, and like it's just like a momentum shift, right? Because it's just like the energy just totally swaps. But yeah, he's been electric for us, and like watching him run, and whenever he catches the ball, I look forward to seeing what he's gonna do with it, right? So he's just on the dance floor out there and just making it happen every time he touches it. But he's been great for us, and he's just gonna keep lighting it up.
One final question: as a whole, this team, what needs to be done to secure a victory this weekend?
We just gotta go with our preparation. Prepare. Just go with what we've been doing every week, getting in the meeting room, doing that extra work outside the field, maybe getting an extra lift in. But I think with the way that we've prepping the last few weeks and put in extra work, it's going to show on Saturday, and we're going to bring it back in the QEW.
That was Marc Liegghio. Terry Godwin has been stellar on this Ticats offense all season long, leading the team in receiving yards last game, as well as getting that big touchdown against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Terry spoke about the upcoming game and the strength of this Ticats receiving core.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, coming off 2 of the games that we came off of and playing the way that we've been playing, I mean, all the dices and everything is rolling. I mean, we're on the right path. Everything's clicking right. I mean, we've been not perfect, but close to where we want to be on all 3 phases. So, I mean, we're heading in the right direction at the right time.
What have you noticed about Bayless and his impact on the game since going into that starting group?
I mean, for a guy that's been, in what we call the waiting room, for him to come in and at an unknown time and just be able to perform the way he is, and also pick up the plays on the playbook and also the new plays that are going in. I mean, it just goes to show and speak volume of him and how much he studies and how much hard work he put in.
That was Terry Godwin. Kenneth George Jr. has silently been a steady presence on the Ticats secondary throughout the season and added another interception against Winnipeg, his first at home for the Ticats. KG has been playing some of his best football of late and spoke about his underdog story and proving people wrong.
It always starts in preparation. I just watch a lot of tape throughout the week, make sure I'm prepared, I'm ready. Once I'm confident, I feel like I can, defeat anybody. I can guard anybody. So it always comes from preparation during the week, staying in that playbook, knowing what I'm supposed to do, knowing what they're doing before they even do it, just help me play that much faster.
How do you feel your progression has gone this season and going through the CFL grind and being around this league throughout the year?
I know when I first got in, I had a chip on my shoulder, and I know what it feels like, to have somebody say you're not good enough. And, that made me who I am today. So I just came in, I knew my coaching staff believed in me. They wanted me to be the guy to come in and, take over the role. And from the day I got here in May, just kept my faith in God and just grind, I love my teammates. I love my coaching staff that I'm around. And, just having that confidence, having them having that confidence in me just makes me want to go grind that much more. Got 9 weeks left, and, just ready to give all I got these next 9 weeks.
Do you almost embrace that underdog story, that proving people wrong?
Oh, yeah, I love that, I always go for the underdogs. Not sure if a lot of people know, but this is this is my 6th year ever playing football, So, I was always an underdog, even going in college, like played 1 year of JUCO football, went to the SEC. Had to prove myself over four stars, 5 stars, guys who've been playing ever since they were little kids. But just being around those guys, it just makes me that more hungry. Just seeing success stories and all the little things. Just makes me want to be great. And I ain't gonna stop till until I no longer have to introduce myself.
How big of a game is this Argos game? They have the chance to sweep the season series. How much do you want to stop that?
It's a big game for us, for everybody in the building. The guys, they're 11-1. They got a lot of steam, a lot of heat behind them. So we played our best football. I know for a fact nobody can stop us. So that's what it's all about. It's all about us. It's never about them. So as long as we focus on what we have to do in our building, we're going to be all right. It doesn't matter who's in front of us, what team, what logo, what color, none of that. It's all about us and, in our room, in our building.
Big thanks to Kenneth George Jr., Terry Godwin, Marc Liegghio, and Coach O for joining the show today. Ticats fans, remember, if you're heading down to BMO Field this Saturday to watch our Ticats take on the Argos, show your BMO game tickets and score 20% off at the Ticats shop. That goes from September 19th to September 23rd. Shop hours are Tuesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go in there. There's tons of great stuff. There's so many new items constantly being added to the shop. I can't even keep up with it. I have to try and buy something new like once a week. But go get your merch. Get all ready for this big Ticats Argos game and help cheer on the Ticats. We like making that BMO Field look like a Ticats home game. So make sure if you're heading that way to get your merch from the Ticats shop. Also, if you're making the trip to Toronto, make sure to stop by the Brazen Head Irish Pub in Liberty Village to meet with your fellow Ticats fans. That happens before kickoff at 7 p.m. And yeah, meet with some fellow Ticats fans and get excited for this big game, this battle of the QEW. That's all the time for me today. I want to thank you for listening to Ticats Today.